I was kind of going back and forth on this story because I was like, I want to talk about GTA, but I don't want to milk it. You know, like I want to talk about it, but I don't want to throw pointless things your way. But I really do think this is very fascinating, which is essentially that the GTA 6 trailer, the second trailer, trailer 2, because you gotta remember the first trailer has already been out for a long time. Well, this trailer broke pretty much all trailer records on YouTube, on the internet, everything. Like we're talking with movies even, okay? A much more accessible medium. You don't have to really buy that much to get into movies. You just need a TV and Netflix, right? Or something like that, or to go to your local cinema. Well, this trailer, it blasted past 475 million views in 24 hours. Now, looking at that right away, you might think, oh, okay, cool, I don't care, moving on. And that's fair. You know, some people are not going to care about this. But to me, this is actually a very interesting thing because this goes to show not just how powerful video games are becoming in terms of a medium, in terms of a form of media that brings people together, that people are getting interested in, but also how big the name GTA is. You have to think back, and I believe, I always mess it up, you know, like when originally GTA 5 came out, I believe it was 2013. Yeah, no, I was right, 2013. So this was releasing in the end of 2013 in September. This is when I was graduating, actually. I graduated that year from high school. So as an old man who was around for the Xbox 360 launch of that game, you have to remember that is the last GTA game that came out. Now, during that time, there was updates to GTA Online and things like that, and we did get Red Dead 2, but GTA is a brand that has not seen a new release in over 12 years. It's going to be about almost 13 years by the time that GTA 6 comes out, if it's not delayed again in May of 2026. So for that, a thing that hasn't come out in like 12 or 13 years to break these records is insane. Like this is, as far as I understand, doing better numbers than like Star Wars The Force Awakens. That's crazy. So we're going to talk about this today for a couple of minutes because I'm actually kind of flabbergasted. This must also be from like people checking out like, what the hell is this? Why do people talk about this? What's all the memes, etc. But I can't believe this. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this. Like, what do you think this actually means? Like, do you think that there's a deeper meaning here? Do you think that this is going to show how much video games have grown in popularity as a medium? Do you think that it's going to show the validity of them? I think they were always valid all the way back, but in terms of mainstream acceptance. Because to me, what this is saying, essentially that this trailer, and the Hollywood Reporter talked about this, it received over 475 million views across all platforms. And for comparison, the first trailer for the game, which released back in 2023, only saw 93 million views in the same window. By the way, that's a ton, and that was a YouTube exclusive trailer. But that said, that means that this trailer is basically the biggest video launch of all time. Now, in the film space, they point out Deadpool and Wolverine's trailer debuted to 365 million views in the first 24 hours. Fantastic Four debuted to 200 million. So this is doing better than MCU movies for numbers already. Now, again, keep in mind, not that a TV is cheap, but for movies, here's what you need to buy into movies nowadays. If you're a freak like me who loves to actually own your media and then rant about people not wanting to do that, you know, you do need some kind of Blu-ray or 4K player, which is going to be usually cheaper than a console by quite a bit. You need a TV and you buy discs, right? But for most people, really now all you need is a TV and a streaming service. And then if you're going to go to a film, obviously you have to fork over the money for tickets or food or whatever at an actual theater. But in general, buying into film, it is hour for hour, you're paying more probably if you buy movies or you go to the cinema. But in general, it's a cheaper hobby because like if you just buy Netflix and Disney Plus, like let's say that's what you have access to film, then what you're doing is you're essentially paying like what, $30 a month, $25 a month in the United States to have access to both of those. And then you bought a TV, you have your internet and you're good outside of going to the movie theater. So my point is that movies and TV, they've always been a very open medium. Like they're very accessible, they're very widely popular, they've always been popular. The buy-in is cheaper, it's not interactive. I know to a lot of people that's a turnoff, but to a lot of people, especially after a hard day of work, that's what they want, is to sit down and loaf in front of the TV and throw something on and not have to interact with it. So for that medium, which I'm not discounting, but it is very widely acceptable and it's been around longer, for that medium to be pulling in less views in this amount of time than the GTA 6 trailer, to me goes to show quite a few things. Like, one, how mainstream these games have become, but two, also the brand power of this franchise. Now, this is something that, again, to me, is also a little bit concerning. It concerns me when something is this popular, maybe it's the hipster in me, maybe it's the Trevor Phillips in me, that makes me feel a little worried about effort, you know? Something I've been disappointed at post-launch for the Rockstar games is that in the past, like I've said countless times, they used to add on to the single player. They'd do things like Undead Nightmare, they'd do things like The Ballad of Gay Tony or The Lost and the Damned. And this series, this franchise also has kind of taken over what Rockstar is, along with Red Dead Redemption. You know, way back when I was younger, something else that they would do is they would push other series. You know, there would be GTA and there'd be its spin-offs, and they came out way more often. Like the gaps between GTA 3, San Andreas, Vice City, GTA 4, those gaps are significantly less than 12 years, or 13 years basically, jumping from 5 to 6, with, of course, GTA Online updates in the middle. But what's weird to me about all of this is, despite that gap, despite GTA and Red Dead kind of taking over what this company's slate is, probably for the foreseeable future, I look back at when they did do other stuff, and I look at these numbers, and I say, hey, I'm excited for this game, okay? I'm thirsting over Lucia in that dress as much as everybody else, all right? I'm out here gooning with you. I'm edging too. But what is weird about this to me is, does this mean that they don't have any financial incentive to go back to their other franchises? Does this mean that they don't have a financial incentive to add on to their single players later, like they used to? You know, because they can launch this, it's a guaranteed success right now, which is always a dangerous position to put any company in. Guarantee their success. Every time historically a company has had guaranteed success, effort has suffered overall. Now, on the other hand, people can argue this has to be a super high quality thing, or they won't be able to break these records next time. And I agree to an extent, but something I've noticed too in the cultural shift in economics and business, at least in the West, is there used to be these ideas of making your company good so you can pass it off to the next guy when you retire and it's still good for them. And now a lot of the focus is on investors, shareholders, and executives now being successful and not caring about the people down the line in 30 years. So when I see guaranteed success like this, it's honestly incredible to see. It's very fascinating to me. It goes to show a lot of different things in growth in the gaming industry for how serious it's taken, despite the fact that I do think eventually there is a video game crash probably coming, with prices going up and all these different things, lack of access to media that you own, and a push for games as a service. I do still think that crash could happen. But I also think that seeing this outdo all of these different things, and even seeing people go on Spotify and the soundtrack, the trailer's song that was featured in here, Hot Together, going up by like almost 200,000%. That kind of thing is crazy to me. But I do worry a little bit about the future of Rockstar and what they're gonna do. Like, are they just gonna go back and forth between GTA and Red Dead now and push online components after the fact? Like, they do a huge single player drop, then they move on to their multiplayer for 10 years, and then they move on? I mean, I'm not saying that can't be fun, but I want these single player experiences to last. And something I really appreciate about GTA 4 was that they were willing to go back and add on to Liberty City. This is Vice City. They were willing to go back and add on to Liberty City and add different stories and things in to make the world even better. And now it seems like that's kind of reserved for online stuff. I don't know. I'm curious to hear your thoughts about this. The fact that it's already breaking records to me is kind of crazy, but I want to hear your thoughts down below. If you support this channel and you want to help us succeed, which I do appreciate, even doing things like leaving a comment, leaving a like, those kinds of things, subscribing, they mean a lot to me. Also, I will be uploading some more of my GTA Online Let's Play over on Degenerate Plays. The link is in the description down below to my other channel there and all my other channels. And I wanted to say a huge shout out to our store, CosmoBunny.shop. Our sale is running for a couple more days here when this goes up. Coasters, keychains, trays, and more made out of recycled paper from comics, manga, magazines, and more that have been damaged. Take that art, give it new life transformatively in a new medium for you guys. Your support lately has been awesome. Really appreciate that. It's helping out the channel a lot because, again, this is a channel YouTube does not push very often. So thank you so much for doing that. You can use code SALE in all caps right now while the sale goes for a couple more days, I believe. Otherwise, if you watch this in the future, DJAY123 is a discount code we pretty much always keep active, or at least have to this point. So have a fantastic day. Thanks for watching. Thank you to our members. Big thank you to all of you right here. Kisses, love, hugs, consensual touching to those members. As long as you are of age, I appreciate it. And crisp high fives to those of you who are not. Have a fantastic day. As always, everyone, stay shway.